Hi folks, welcome to Zebediah and Beauregard's Front Porch. It's Oireachtas time again, and today we're going to try and answer a question I get from fresh moms everywhere. What's the formula for determining how many dancers qualify from the Oireachtas for the World's Irish Dance Championships being held next year in London? Well, according to the 2014 syllabus, the number of qualifiers from each competition is based on how many dancers actually dance, not how many entered. The number of qualifiers for most competitions will be 5 for 20 or less competitors and 1 additional qualifier for each 10 or part of 10 in excess of the first 20 competitors. Dancers who are world medal holders will count as competitors but not as qualifiers. All this may sound confusing, but I'll show you some examples shortly. In the past, there was a cap placed on the number of qualifiers from a competition, and a maximum of 15 qualifiers could go forward from the Regional Oireachtas to the Worlds, not counting the world medal holders. For the 2014 Worlds, this cap on the number of qualifiers from the Oireachtas has been eliminated, which means for the larger competition groups, there will be more qualifiers than in the past. Right now, you're thinking this is all pretty confusing, so let's try and explain it a little better with some graphics and stuff. This is how it works. Let's say you have a competition like the U16 group shown here with 96 dancers that show up to actually compete, and 3 of these dancers are world medal holders from 2013, shown on the slide in red. These world medal holders from last year's competition have already qualified for the 2014 Worlds, whether they finished first or 23rd at the Oireachtas. They're competing at the Oireachtas for the honor, the pride, and because On Commission says they have to, or leap through all kinds of hoops as an exception to policy. So if you remember the qualification formula, there are 96 dancers in the group, and each competition of 20 or less dancers has 5 qualifiers, shown here on the slide. There is also 1 additional qualifier for each 10 or part of 10 in excess of the first 20 competitors. So if we have 96 competitors, that means we have 76 competitors more than 20. So we would have an additional 8 qualifiers. Remember, most but not all competitions use this formula. Remember the rules? Dancers who are world medal holders will count as competitors but not as qualifiers. So what does this mean? On this slide, we have the 13 qualifiers we have already computed. But if you remember, there are 3 world medal holders competing who have already qualified for the Worlds regardless of the competition outcome. This means that from this competition, 13 qualifiers and 3 world medal holders will be eligible to compete at the Worlds. Now, the world medal holders won't be taking this competition sitting down. They're going to be going for the highest placement they can, just like all the other competitors. This slide represents a possible outcome for our competition in which the world medal holders placed 1st, 4th, and 8th. Remember, because of the formula, 13 qualifiers and 3 world medal holders will be eligible to compete at the Worlds from this competition. Because the world medal holders had high placements, the dancer who placed 16th is the last of the 13 qualifier placements. But the cutoff point doesn't always work out this way. This slide represents yet another possible outcome for our competition in which the world medal holders place 2nd, 4th, and 23rd. Now our formula doesn't change here, and the 13 qualifiers and 3 world medal holders will be eligible to compete at the Worlds from this competition as shown on the slide. But because one of the world medal holders didn't do as well, the dancer who placed 15th is the last of the 13 qualifier placements. 13 qualifiers and 3 world medal holders are still going to London. It depends on how well the world medal holders do that determines the cutoff point for the qualifiers. As I previously mentioned, most competitions follow these formulas, but not all. 2 competitions for the 2014 Worlds have a slightly different formula: senior men over 21 and senior ladies over 21. The number of qualifiers from these competitions will be 7 for 20 or less competitors and 1 additional qualifier for each 5 or part of 5 in excess of the first 20 competitors. Hopefully you have a better understanding about the formula used for qualifying for the Worlds from the Oireachtas. That's it for tonight's show. Please try and join us next time when we try to make some sense out of the Irish point scoring system. And good luck to all those competing at the Oireachtas.